Hey everybody, this is Blast338 coming at you live this beautiful Saturday. Listen to me. Monday evening. And Monday evening, you know what that means. That means talking D&D with Mr. Faust. And guess who we have on the line? You'll never guess. It's Mr. Faust. How you doing, Mr. Faust?
I'm doing great, Blast. I'm on vacation this week. How you doing?
I am I'll be okay. It was a long day today.
At least it's not as hot.
Very true. Very true. The weather has broke. There was a little bit of rain that kind of made things cool today. It was very welcome. Very welcome change. So, tonight we are talking about races in 5e.
Yes, we are. I've been kind of excited about this one because there are so many races now to choose from, even monstrous creatures.
Yeah, you have that new book.
Monsters of the Multiverse is a really cool book. It offers maybe 30 new races.
Okay.
And also expands on the monstrous universe of D&D. So there's a full bestiary from A to Z on new monsters for Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh. Alrighty. So yeah, we're going to be talking about some of the, your more common races, the exotics, monstrous, and there's even some specific races to different settings. So yeah, I mean, we got a lot to talk about tonight. So where do you want to start at?
I don't have the base races right in front of me.
Okay.
So I didn't know. So if you want to pick a couple and start there, then I could pick a couple and go from there.
Sure. Okay. Let's see here. We have, well, your common races are your dragonborn, your dwarf, elf, gnome, half orc, halfling, human, and tiefling.
That's right.
It's. I think one thing we need to do too is kind of give credit to I believe it was Tasha's that kind of threw out the whole, well, this race gets these bonuses to their stats and these races get that bonus to their stats, and said, you know what? Play what you want. Everybody gets a +2 and a +1.
Right. And I like this a lot because I've used this example before, but let's say you're an elf. They're known for being slender, they're known for being musical, they're known for being magical, but what if you had an elf that body built every single day to enhance his physical prowess? It wouldn't make sense for him to get a +2 to dexterity.
Right. Exactly.
And it was incredibly limiting.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's how awesome is it to play, a dragonborn barbarian? But if you look at your ability score increase, okay, they have a strength by 2, okay, which is fine. I mean, you want strength as that, but then the charisma increases by 1. Well, that doesn't make any sense. I want my constitution to increase by 1, not my charisma.
That almost points them in the direction of being a paladin.
True.
I never considered a dragonborn paladin before.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
No.
But dragonborns are nice. They're, of course, a medium creature. They are... they're either good or evil. Their speed is 30. But see, the cool thing about them is you get resistance to your dragon types. So like you pick a dragon color. Black is acid, blue lightning, brass is fire, bronze lightning, copper is acid, gold is fire, green is poison, red is fire, silver cold, white cold. You get resistance to that type of damage. So if you know you're going to be taking a lot of fire damage, well, I want to play either a red or a gold dragon. You're also going to get a breath weapon, so you have a natural weapon. You really can never be disarmed. And that's either going to be a line or a cone, and they either make a dex or a con save versus that.
Right.
As far as languages go, they get Common and Draconic. And then you have your metallic dragons, your brass, your bronze, your copper, gold, silver. There's gem dragons, amethyst, crystal, emerald, sapphire, and topaz. Now, I like them because, like, your amethyst is force, your crystal dragons are radiant damage, your emerald is psychic, your sapphire is thunder, and your topaz dragons is necrotic damage.
Yeah, the gem dragons are pretty cool.
You also not only get your breath weapon and resistance to that type of damage, you're also going to get psionic mind. So you can telepathically speak to any creature you can see within 30 feet of you. You don't need to share a language with the creature, but they must be able to understand at least one language. And at 5th level, you can manifest wings for 1 minute, and you gain a flying speed equal to your walking speed, or can hover. And then you have to finish a long rest before you use it again.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get chromatic. Where instead of being resistant, you can, at 3rd level, you can protect yourself for 10 minutes and become immune to your associated type of damage. So there's a lot of... They really upgraded the Dragonborn. Very good race. I've played my share of Dragonborns. I know Little Pooper has played his share. In fact, we still talk about Medrash during our campaigns. Just absolutely insane character. But no, love the Dragonborns. A lot of love there. Come on now. There we go. I mean, gnomes are nice. You get the Tinkerer gnome, you get the rock gnome. You get a fun little guy that likes to do little gnome stuff. Halflings are fun. Halflings actually have a really cool ability as well.
Is this the lucky ability?
Yeah, if you roll a 1 on an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, you can re-roll the dice, and you must use the new result even if it's a 1. But there's nothing here saying you're limited to the number of your proficiency modifier or your spellcasting modifier or your main skill or whatever. No, it's if you're doing an attack and you roll a 1, you automatically get to redo it.
Yes.
A little crazy. You have advantage on saving throws against being frightened. And you can move through the space of any creature that is a size larger than yours.
Exactly.
Let's see here. Yeah, they're about 3 feet tall, weigh about 40 pounds, and your size is small. They get common and halfling. Let's see here. Lightfoot. As a Lightfoot halfling, you can hide from notice, even using other people as cover. You're inclined to be able to get along well with others. Yeah, they're the most common variety. And let's see here. Naturally stealthy, you can attempt to hide even when you're only obscured by a creature that's at least one size larger than you. Stout, you have advantage on saving throws against poison, resistance to poison damage. And then there's a few other here, like Ghostwise, and these are Sword Coast Adventures Guide. And yeah, again, there's a bunch of other ones here. Eberron, Rising from the Last War, Wildmount, all that kind of stuff. So halflings could be a lot of fun. It's one of those, if you have a lot of big, like, or large or medium creatures in your party, wouldn't make a bad, probably a druid or a wizard or somebody, where you're having to summon a lot of things, do a lot of concentration checks, or not concentration checks, but you're doing a lot of concentration spells, so you're able to take that hide action and stay out of damage. And then you have human, which, I mean, it's humans.
It can be played. You can play human one of two ways. With the variant human, you have a little more versatility.
I think for a lot of builds, I do tend to lean towards the variant human. You get 2+1s to any stat, and then you get a feat. See, normally, with a human, you get a +1 to all your stats, which is awesome. The other thing they get is languages. So you get the read and write common and one extra language of your choice. I thought in the book it actually says that. I thought for some reason they get like 3 languages. But yeah, the variant's great. 2 different ability scores increased by 1. You gain proficiency in 1 skill of your choice, and you regain 1 feat of your choice. Absolutely awesome. I mean, to start out with a feat is absolutely huge. I mean, a feat can really turn the tide when it comes to certain combats. You know, if you're playing something that has a shield, like a fighter, and you take Shield Master, now you're using your, whenever you hit a creature with an attack as a bonus action, you can hit them with your shield, and you can either knock them prone or you can push them away by 10 feet. Or you could take Sentinel. They move into your area of attack. You gain an opportunity attack. They go to get away from you. You hit them and their movement speed becomes 0, so they can't run away. You could take Polearm Master. You're able to use the other side of the polearm to do an additional D4 worth of damage. And again, you combine that with, your level 4, normally you have the ability increase, or your feat, you could take the Polearm Master and Sentry, and now anything within 10 feet of you, you are attacking. And then you have the Tieflings. Tieflings are great. They get resistance to fire damage. There's also a pretty good redo on them. They get you have now the Abyssal Tiefling and
the variant. Yep.
So they can look frightening. You get Devil's Tongue, so the Vicious Mockery cantrip. You can cast Charm Person as a 2nd level spell once you reach... Yeah, you can cast Charm Person once as a 2nd level spell once you reach level 5. Once you reach level 3, you can cast Charm Person spell once as a 2nd level spell. Once you reach 5th level, you get Enthrall once, and you must finish a long rest to cast these spell again with Straight.
Not bad at all.
No, you get Burning Hand or Hellfire. You get Burning Hands and Hellish Rebuke, both very good spells. And then Winged, you gain a flying speed of 30 feet when you're not wearing heavy armor. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer.
And then, yeah, the Abyssal Tiefling, you're... Each time you finish a long rest, you gain the ability to cast cantrips and spells randomly determined by a short list. So you're rolling a d6, and you can get everything from dancing lights to prestidigitation. So there's True Strike, Light, Message, Spare the Dying. 3rd level, you get Burning Hands, Charm Person, Magic Missile, Cure Wounds, Tasha's Hideous Laughter, Thunder Wave, and at 5th level, Alter Self, Darkness, Invisibility, Levitate, Mirror Image, and Spider Climb. So every morning when you wake up, boom, you roll the d6, and you're getting a 1st, a 3rd, and a 5th level spell that you can cast once per day, no spell slot required, and there you go.
Yep.
And your hit point maximum increases by half your level, minimum of 1. Huh.
I like it.
They really did it. Some of these newer books that are coming out have really, I think, added a lot to different races.
They have, because the variant that you just mentioned is in one of the books that I have.
Oh, okay.
It's a book of heroic races. It's not a core rule book, but it was published by Wizards of the Coast.
Okay.
Which legitimizes it.
There's a pretty decent amount of other publications out there that you can integrate into 5th edition that aren't made by Wizards of the Coast.
Absolutely. I just recently played a class in a third-party book that was a blast to play. It was an intelligence-based class, similar to an artificer, but just so much fun. It had so many skills that it gave you. Its armor had unique abilities that it could confer onto you, and this is just one example of something that you can find in a third-party book if you're willing to look for them. Kobold Press is a really good one for that.
Yeah, and the wiki is great. There's a lot of stuff there. In fact, I'm on the wiki right now just looking up all lineages. It's a simple click. Everything's right there. It spells it out. And yeah, there's everything from homebrew to official, which is great. So, all right, well, we've gone through your common lineages. Let's do one of the new ones. What do you have in mind?
Let's start with one of your favorites. Because then you can help us talk about it a little bit more, and you know exactly which one I'm going to say.
Yeah. Yes, I do. The Centaur. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
The Kenku.
Yes, the Kenku.
I love Kenkus. I really do. I don't understand how you can play a bard and not play a Kenku. Their mimic ability is absolutely amazing. You're... Oh, anyways, go ahead.
So, this is one of the races in the Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes book. And And you know how in the monster manual you'll get little excerpts from a D&D character talking about that race or talking about that spell?
Mm-hmm.
This is what Mordenkainen has to say about the Kenku. I have long envied the agility of Kenku memory. My memory palace is splendid and vast, yet a Kenku's memory is a gleaming edifice that puts my palace to shame. Kenku are feathered folk who resemble ravens, with keen observation skills and supernaturally accurate memories. None of them, however, can remember the origin of the first Kenku, and they often joke that there are as many Kenku origin stories as there are Kenku out there. Some of them paint their genesis as a curse, being a flightless bird people doomed to mimic other people's creations. Other Kenku recite cryptic but beautiful poems about their advent being a blessed event in which they were sent into the multiverse to observe and catalog its many wonders. Whatever their true origin, Kenku are most often found in the Shadowfell and the material plane, and they tend to have the coloration typical of ravens. So, as a Kenku, you are a humanoid creature. You can choose to be medium or small. Your base walking speed is 30 feet, and this ability is called Expert Duplication. When you copy writing or craft work produced by yourself or someone else, you have advantage on any ability checks you make to produce an exact duplicate. Kenku Recall. Thanks to your supernaturally good memory, you have proficient in 2 skills of your choice, making a Kenku Bard or Rogue an incredible skill expert.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, when you make an ability check using any skill in which you have proficiency, you can give yourself advantage on the check before rolling the d20. You can give yourself advantage in this way a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest.
See, that's one
And
thing I
finally,
I didn't know about the Kenku.
oh, the Kenku Recall ability.
Well, see, the thing is, there's also Volo's Guide to Monsters, which is the one that I've been using, which doesn't.
Oh, they revamped it.
Yeah, Mordecai's revamped it, so I didn't know that. That is that because I've never done that with the two maybe three Kenku that I've played.
No,
Um,
you actually haven't. I always assumed that you were taking the skills
mm-mm,
and just forgetting to use the ability.
no, I had no idea. That's the first I'm hearing of it.
Who's the Lord of the First Layer of Hell now? Hey, you.
Hey, stop that.
Hey,
Or
stop that.
yeah,
Well, he just got a new ability in Hell.
I guess he did.
But finally, we have mimicry. You can accurately mimic sounds you have heard, including voices. A creature that hears the sound you make can tell if they are imitations only with a successful wisdom insight check against a DC of 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your charisma modifier.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's what I had a lot of fun with, especially with the bard. You know, just fully rocking out.
Pretty much.
But yeah, and then they get your standard language, common language, and one other that you and your DM deem appropriate.
Right.
One thing I love about the Kenku too is they don't. Part of their lore is they don't take on a normal name. Like you're never gonna find a Kenku named Sam. You know what I mean? They take
Right.
on more of like chains rattling or a certain bird call. Um, Little Pooper and I played brothers that were Kenku bards and also warlocks. We did a bard warlock multi-class, and he was "Hey you," and I was "Stop that." Mostly because we were thieves, and we thought people were, "Hey you, stop that." Okay, well that's got to be our names. You're "Hey you," and I'm "Stop that." And then when he got killed, he took on the "Hey," or the first part of his brother's name, so it turned into "Hey, stop that."
Yeah,
But
that was
just
devastating for Little Pooper in the moment.
it really was.
And it
Um,
was so hard to kill him.
it yeah, because he fell like 2 or 3 times in that combat, and the
And kept getting
party
up.
kept bringing him back up, and we were let's put a little context into this. you know we're not these monsters that just want to kill off my son's character for no reason. He wasn't having a lot of fun playing him, and because it wasn't the easiest character in the world to play. It was is a very technical character. You had to cast certain spells at certain times to really build your damage and things of that nature. So he wanted to play something a little bit more or less technical. So I made him a barbarian named Gulap, who was a plasmoid, and we had a lot of fun with him. But first, we had to get rid of Hey You, and yeah, we had this big combat, and you literally were targeting just him with this,
The
you know,
whole time with Disintegrate, with Power Word Kill, which failed because I miscalculated his hit points. I tried everything.
yeah, it was, and he would fall, and then our druid or somebody would pick him back up, and then he would fall, and then somebody else would pick him back up. Uh, that that was one of the groups and this was our last Spelljammer campaign.
Yeah, it was.
That group, we worked so well as a team together. The amount that team synergized with each other, we had it down. In fact, I don't think I've ever played with a group that worked so well together. I'm very much looking forward to Friday because we're going to be starting Spelljammer once again, and I'm interested to see what everybody plays and how everybody's going to mesh together.
Right.
Um, but anyways, yeah, love me some Kenku. Um, Very soft spot in my heart for these guys. They also make really great monks.
They do. Absolutely.
um, yeah, I played a drunken master Kenku, and it was just funny because he would just mock people. Like one guy lost his arm in our party, and he just every time he said his name or somebody spoke to him, he would just point and laugh. Um, but anyways, we mentioned the whatchamacallit. Oh, it has been a very long day. The plasmoid. This is from Spelljammer. They're a medium creature. Um, and this is kind of, even with the ability score increase, it says increase one ability score by 2 and increase a different one by 1, or increase 3 different scores by 1. This is a weird one. They're actually an ooze. They're not a humanoid. So you can be medium or small. Your walking speed is 30 feet. You're able to change shapes. You're able to squeeze through a narrow 1-inch wide space, providing you're not wearing or carrying anything. You also have advantage on ability checks to make, to initiate or escape a grapple check. They have dark vision. You're able to see in dim light 60 feet, and dim light as shades of gray and all that kind of fun stuff. You can hold your breath for 1 hour.
Which is perfect in a Spelljammer campaign.
Yep. You have resistance to acid and poison damage, and advantage on saving throws against being poisoned. Shape self. If you are not incapacitated, you can reshape your body to give yourself a head, 1 or 2 arms, 1 or 2 legs, and makeshift hands and feet. Or you can revert to a limbless blob, no action required. As a bonus action, you can extrude a pseudopod that is up to 6 inches wide and 10 feet long, or reabsorb it into your body. You can use this pseudopod to manipulate an object, open an unlocked door, container, stow or retrieve an item from an open container, or pour out the contents of a container. The pseudopod cannot attack, activate magic items, or carry more than 10 pounds. So, nobody has a mage hand on deck. Well, let's just shove the the gooey one through the bars. Unless they're very narrow, but then again, a 1-inch square or 1-inch hole is not a very big hole. And of course, they get read and write common and one language of their choice between you and your DM. These guys are great. We had a lot of fun with this. I know Little Pooper enjoyed playing it as a barbarian. In fact, we were even able to find miniatures of a barbarian plasmoid, which I thought was kind of interesting. I wouldn't mind playing one of these as a wizard, or not a wizard, but as a sorcerer. I think that would be fun.
That would be really fun.
But no, this is a nice little race. They have some utility with being able to squeeze through places. If you get into a dungeon or something and you need somebody to squeeze through the keyhole to unlock a trap, or that type of stuff, great race. And there's a lot of really good ones from Spelljammer too. So what's the next one on your list?
It's an Unearthed Arcana race.
Okay.
It's called the Revenant.
Oh.
And I'll read the description first. It's from Unearthed Arcana 15, Gothic Heroes. Having met a cruel and undeserving end, you have returned to the realm of the living. As a revenant, you thirst for vengeance against those who wronged you in life, or seek to complete a final critical task you left unfinished. The Revenant subrace can be applied to any race that has a subrace, replacing that race's existing subrace options.
Okay.
Alternatively, you can apply this new subrace to a race without subrace options using the modification options provided below. Your DM might also allow you to take this subrace for a slain character. In that case, your character rises from the dead with its original subrace replaced, filled with a determination to seek vengeance or complete its mission. So these are the racial adjustments.
Okay.
If you want to play a human revenant, modify the human's ability score trait to the following. 2 different ability scores of your choice increased by 1.
Mm-hmm.
If you use the variant human traits, remove the skill trait and the feat trait.
Interesting.
If you're a Dragonborn Revenant, modify the Dragonborn's ability score increase trait to the following. And it's the same as the human, 1 score by 1, another score by 1. Additionally, your Draconic Ancestry trait uses necrotic damage as its damage type, replacing the damage type that applies to your breath weapon and your damage resistance.
Huh. Okay, so you're dealing necrotic damage. Interesting.
So racial features. There's just one. It's called Relentless Nature. Your DM assigns a goal to you, typically one related to your character's death. The goal must be a specific task that you can complete, such as slaying an enemy or liberating an area and its people. Until you fulfill that goal, you gain the following benefits. If you are below half your hit point maximum at the start of your turn, you regain 1 hit point.
Okay.
If you die, you return to life 24 hours after death. If your body is destroyed, you reform within 1 mile of the place of your death at a spot determined by the DM. If your equipment was also destroyed, you do not regain it.
Okay.
And you know the distance and direction between you and a creature involved in your goal, such as a person you seek vengeance against or someone you pledge to defend. This awareness fails if the creature is on another plane of existence.
Makes sense.
When your goal is complete, you finally find rest. You die and cannot be restored to life.
Oh.
So essentially, it makes you immortal.
Right.
If you're below half your hit point maximum at the start of your turn, you regain 1. So at the start of every one of your turns, you're getting up again.
Right.
I thought it was interesting, especially from a roleplay perspective.
I can't help but think of the guy who just wants to die.
And can't.
And he doesn't know exactly why. Like, he wasn't really paying attention when he was given this curse or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
But like the moment he like finds like true love or something, like he stubs his toe on something and like falls over, cracks his head, dead.
It's funny.
Oh. Well, that could definitely lead to some good role play.
And that's kind of what I really enjoy it for. Like, I don't care if a character gets up every round, but to see someone roleplay that, like, convincingly, would make me really happy as a DM.
Alrighty, anything else with that?
No, that was it.
Alrighty. Here's one. Little Pooper's actually in our Spelljammer campaign is going to be playing an Owlin. So this
Oh.
yeah, I just kind of thought, well, this is interesting. So distant what? I said you're going to be playing an Owlin.
Yep.
Yeah, he's going to be playing a monk for the first time too. Although he won't tell me what type of monk he's going to play. Well, you better think that far.
I told you.
What?
Get the name.
Okay. Alright, whatever. So anyways, Owlins, distant kin of the giant owls from the Feywild. Owlin come in many shapes and sizes, from petite and fluffy to wide-winged and majestic. Owlins have arms and legs like any other humanoid, as well as wings that extend from their back and shoulders. Like owls, Owlin are graced with feathers that make no sound when they move or fly, making it easy for them to sneak up on you in the library. Your Owlin creature might be nocturnal, or perhaps your character is simply prone to rise later, embodying the common nickname of Night Owl. What? Oh, you're playing Way the Open Hand. Okay. Alrighty, so you get one ability score by 2, increase a different ability by 1. You can read and write Common and one other language that you and your DM deem appropriate. You are a humanoid. Your size is either medium or small. You have a walking speed of 30 feet. You have very good dark vision. This is actually out to 120 feet. But you're still seeing stuff in shades of gray in darkness. Flight, thanks to your wings, you have a flying speed equal to your walking speed. You can't use this flying speed if you're wearing medium or heavy armor. and silent feathers. You have proficiency in stealth. Not bad. I kind of like this. And I think for a monk, this would be absolutely awesome.
Yeah, yeah, I can agree with that. Do monks gain the ability to use dodge, dash, and disengage as a bonus action?
I don't know. I'd have to look that up. But the other thing is, because your flying speed is equal to your walking speed, as your speed as a monk increases, because I think it increases twice, so does your flying speed. I think he said something like he starts out with 40 feet and is going to end up with something crazy like 120.
It's a lot.
It's just monks are great, and if go back watch our episode about monks, and we'll talk about all that. But yeah, no, I like the Owlin. Um, when I think of the Owlin, I gotta. You ever watch the movie Mom and Dad Save the Planet or Save the World or something? It's
Oh,
a
it sounds familiar. I'm not sure if I saw it or
it's
not.
one of those random little comedies. It's got it's got the dad from Beetlejuice in it. Um,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, it's got the the Sicilian from Princess Bride. There's a lot of really famous people in it, and it's just absolutely hysterical. But they hide on the planet as like bird people, and he's like, "Wow, I can't believe you actually have people in your planet that are this size." They're all like, "We don't." Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, "Well, then, how do these work?" It's kind of what I picture with an Owlin, is like a guy with like a bunch of feathers glued to his back.
Right.
Um, alrighty. What's the next one there, Mr. Faust?
Okay, let me see here. Just grabbing some dinner while I talk.
Yeah, no worries.
I actually wanted to go over the Eladrin.
Okay.
These are one of my favorites. I like the flavor of them as a race just because there seems to be a Fey hierarchy. Elves are on the low end of that hierarchy, and Eladrin seem to be a step up from the elves.
Mm-hmm.
So they're a little more supernatural. I think that's pretty cool.
Right.
So Eladrin are elves of the Feywild, a realm of perilous beauty and boundless magic. Using that magic, Eladrin can step from one place to the other in the blink of an eye, and each Eladrin resonates with emotions captured in the Feywild in the form of seasons. Affinities that affect the Eladrin's mood and appearance. An Eladrin season can change, though some remain in one season forever. Choose your season or roll on the Eladrin seasons table. Your trance trait lets you change your season. Like other elves, Eladrin can live to be over 750 years old.
Oh, wow.
So, these are the four seasons and what they represent. We'll start with that.
Okay.
Autumn represents peace and goodwill, when summer's harvest is shared with all. Spring embodies cheerfulness and celebration, marked by merriment and hope as winter's sorrow passes.
Okay.
Winter and summer are the two extremes. Winter, contemplation and dolor, when the vibrant energy of the world slumbers.
Hmm.
And summer, boldness and aggression, a time of unfettered energy and calls to action.
Okay.
So as for ability score increases, they get what's typical, increase one ability score by 2, and a different ability score by 1, or increase 3 different ability scores by 1.
Oh, okay. So they get. See, not all of them get that increase 3 by 1.
No, that's true. It's very specific.
But no, I like that. I mean, it just makes sense. Like we said at the beginning, it just, why we didn't do this from the beginning, I don't know.
I agree. And it can really help round you out if you have, say, a 13, a 15, a 17.
Right.
So, creature type, they are a humanoid, but they're also considered an elf for any prerequisite or effect that requires you to be an elf. Their size is medium, their walking speed is 30 feet, and they have dark vision out to 60 feet. Because of their Fey ancestry, they have advantage on saving throws they make to avoid or end the charm condition.
Hmm.
Keen senses, they have proficiency in the perception skill.
Okay.
They trance like an elf, so they don't need to eat, sleep, or they don't need to sleep, and magic can't put them to sleep. They can finish a long rest in 4 hours if they spend those hours in a trance-like meditation.
Wow.
Whenever they finish the trance, they can change their season and gain 2 proficiencies that they don't have, each with a weapon or tool of your choice. You mystically acquire these proficiencies by drawing them from shared elven memory, and you retain them until you finish your next long rest.
Ooh, I like that.
So let's say you're adventuring, you find a great sword, but you don't know how to use the great sword, and you know the damage would be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, if you know you're taking on a task, like you're traveling through the forest and you need to be stealthy, you can then gain proficiency in stealth.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
Or you can gain proficiency in deception. Yeah, no, I definitely. Then, like, later on, like you said, you get to the bad guy's place. Okay, guys, let's make camp here. Tomorrow, I'm gonna give myself proficiency in whatever this weapon is here and that suit of armor, and we're gonna go. Oh wow!
Yeah, if you really need to use an artifact,
All
you can
right.
condition yourself to use an artifact.
So you finish a long rest and you give yourself proficiency with what again? Read that back to me just to make sure that I didn't get it wrong. Because I just thought of something.
Oh, it's a weapon or a tool of your choice.
Oh, a weapon or tool. Okay. I was about to say, if you can give yourself proficiency with armor, you could be a wizard wearing plate.
Very true.
But is it only one thing or is it 2?
2 things.
Oh, okay. So you could take crossbow. But then you would need crossbow expert to be able to reload without using another action. Well, no, there's definitely there's definitely something there. And again, it's going to depend upon your campaign exactly what you're going to be doing. But 2 skills or 2 weapons or 1 skill and a weapon. No, I like that. Definitely like that.
In addition, they have an ability called Face Step.
Okay.
As a bonus action, you can magically teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see.
Mm-hmm.
You can use this trait a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. When you reach 3rd level, your Face Step gains an additional effect based on your season. If the effect requires a saving throw, the DC equals 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma modifier. So, Face Step in Autumn. Immediately after you use your Face Step, up to 2 creatures of your choice that you can see within 10 feet of you must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or be charmed by you for 1 minute. Elin used this a lot.
Yes.
Every time she would Face Step, she would charm 2 people within 10 feet.
She didn't do it a lot in her last campaign.
No.
But she had so much on her mind. It was amazing she was able to play her character at all. But that's the wonderful thing about D&D. You sit down with a bunch of friends for a couple of hours and you can just forget about the world and immerse yourself in entertainment, some role play, some combat, you know, let out your frustrations and go from there. I mean, how many times have I told you to make a bad guy named a certain person and just like, let me obliterate this guy, please? Oh, but no, definitely, yeah, no, yeah, charming somebody like that is absolutely awesome. Because then you're pretty much, what are they? Charmed by you? That means they have disadvantage on charisma checks versus you. They're no longer hostile towards you. There's a bunch of stuff that goes along with that.
Oh yeah.
So again, you're taking the wind out of somebody's sails, which is always, whenever you can even once disrupt the bad guy's actions is a good thing for the party. Alrighty, anything else on the Eladrin?
Yes.
Oh,
Base
okay.
Step of Winter.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's one for every season.
Oh, okay, all right.
When you use your Face Step, one creature of your choice that you can see within 5 feet of you before you teleport must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or be frightened of you until the end of your next turn.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well,
Base Step of Spring. When you use your Face Step, you can touch one willing creature within 5 feet of you. That creature then teleports instead of you, appearing in an unoccupied space of your choice that you can see within 30 feet.
It has to be a willing creature. Okay. You can't reach out and be like, hey, I want to throw you off the cliff.
No, unfortunately not. I know you would try it.
I've been known.
And Phase Step of Summer. Immediately after you use your Phase Step, each creature of your choice that you can see within 5 feet of you takes fire damage equal to your proficiency bonus.
Oh, wow. Don't tell Arrow. Because that's all she's ever going to do. So. All right. Well, yeah, definitely some great abilities there to give yourself skills, proficiencies, and then, to get out of a situation and cause, damage or be charmed or frightening. I mean, frightening alone is a great thing. Now, there are a lot of things that are resistant to it. And again, it's all going to depend upon the campaign that you're playing.
Right.
No, it's a wow. And nice thing
I'm
is
a pretty big fan of it.
At the beginning of each long rest, you can choose what season you pick.
Right.
So as the campaign changes, you can change your that's awesome. Alrighty, anything else with them?
No, that about covers it.
Okay. So I wanted to talk about the Minotaur.
Okay.
This is one I had a lot of fun with it. So everybody knows what a Minotaur is. Half man, half bull. They're barrel-chested humanoids with heads resembling those of bulls, blessed with a supernaturally strong sense of direction, Minotaurs make great navigators. Some sages believe minotaurs were first created by the Lady of Pain to patrol the magical mazes that she uses to trap her foes. Minotaurs' horns range in the size from about 1 foot to 1 foot long to easily 3 times that length. Minotaurs often carve their horns to sharpen their edges, etch symbols of power into them, or sheathe them in bronze to prevent them from shattering during battle. Thick hair extends down minotaurs' necks and powerful backs, and some have long patches of hair on their chins and cheeks. Their legs end in heavy cloven hooves, and they have long, tough tails. I played a cleric minotaur, forge cleric. And I really like this. And one of the things I did, now let's go over their stuff here real quick. So of course you're getting the 1x2 or 1x1 or 3x1. You're a humanoid. Your size is medium, 30 feet walking speed. The horns do a d6 plus your strength modifier and piercing damage or bludgeoning as an unarmed strike. Goring Rush, immediately after you take the dash action on your turn and move at least 20 feet, you can make one melee attack with your horns as a bonus action. Hammering Horns, immediately after you hit a creature with a melee attack, as part of the attack action on your turn, you can use a bonus action to attempt to push the target with your horns. The target must be within 5 feet of you and no more than one size larger than you, unless it succeeds on a strength saving throw against your DC, which is 8 plus your proficiency plus your strength modifier, and push it up to 10 feet away from you. Now, there's a couple different types. You have Mordecai's of the Multiverse, Guild Master's Guide to Ravnica, Mystic Odyssey of Theros, Plane Shift, all that. And now this is kind of where things change a little bit. So with Mordecai's, you get Labyrinth Recall. You know which direction is north. You have advantage on wisdom saves, survival checks you make to navigate or track. Whoops, and I just clicked out of them. Here we go. While Guild Masters gives you imposing presence. You have proficiency in one of the following skills of your choice, either intimidation or persuasion. Mystic Odysseys gives you imposing presence, which you can pick from intimidation or persuasion. And Plane Shift gives you savage attacks. So it's kind of like the extra bonus the Barbarian gets. When you score a critical hit with a melee weapon attack, you can roll one of the weapon damage dice additional time and add the extra damage as a critical hit.
Right.
But I really like this because that Goring Rush or their Hammering Horns counts as a melee attack. You combine this with the what is that? Tavern
Brawler?
Brawl? Yeah, Tavern Brawler, where if you make a melee attack or an unarmed strike versus a creature, you can you can try to grapple them on the same attack.
Right.
So yeah, I would do the Goring Rush, go up, whack him with my horns, and then immediately get him into a grapple. And as they're grappled, the rest of your party now has advantage on their attacks. It has disadvantage on its saving and all this and all that. And yeah, it's a really great combo. But yeah, no, I mean, a Minotaur in the party as a fighter or barbarian, I liked him as the cleric. He used the ring that was in his nose as his holy symbol. His horns were carved in different runes and things of that nature. Plus, he was fey touched. So yeah, no, just one of those races you don't hear about a lot. A lot of fun to play. And yeah, because they have that reputation of being the bad guy, to play one of these guys that are actually a sweetheart, I think would be fun. And in fact, thinking about it, I think for our new Spelljammer campaign, I think I'm going to use Minotaur for my character. I don't know exactly what class I'm going to be yet. I'm still kind of thinking that out, but I definitely want to play Minotaur again. Just for the ability of that goring rush and hammering horns. Plus that labyrinth recall is going to be going to be really handy when navigating. Alrighty, what's next on your list, Mr. Faust?
All right, let's see here. Sorry about getting kicked off. Not really sure what happened, but
Oh, I honestly didn't even notice.
ow. Yeah, I got kicked off for a minute.
Oh, I thought you were just being really quiet. Yeah, I was talking about my my cleric Minotaur.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that was a fun character.
We've had a lot of fun characters through the years.
Yeah. Alrighty, who's next on your list? What's next on your list here?
I'm going to go with the Bugbear.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we had a bugbear in our last campaign.
We
That was a
did.
lot of fun.
For me, I've always overlooked the goblinoid races. They've just never really interested me. Like goblins, bugbears, hobgoblins. I've never been exceptionally interested in them.
Mm-hmm.
But when I learned about the bugbear a little bit through one of our players, playing them, they're exceptionally powerful as a race and would make, I'm going to argue, some of the best rogues in the game.
Okay. Well, yeah. Yeah, no, with the advantages that they got on some different skills, which I'm sure you're going to go over, they were pretty impressive.
I was incredibly impressed by them. So, the bugbear. Neither bugs nor bears. Bugbears are the hulking cousins of goblins and hobgoblins. With roots in the Feywild, early bugbears resided in hidden places, in hard-to-reach and shadowed spaces. Long ago, and from out of the corner of your eye, they came to the material plane, urged to spread throughout the multiverse by the conquering god Magbliet. Centuries later, they still bear the Fey gift for lurking just out of sight, and many of them have sneaked away from that god's influence. They are long of limb and covered in coarse hair, with wedge-shaped ears and pointed teeth. Despite their formidable build, bugbears are quiet skulkers thanks to Fey magic that allows them to hide in spaces seemingly too small for them. So, bugbears are humanoid, but they're also considered a goblinoid for any prerequisite or effect that requires you to be a goblinoid.
Okay.
They are medium creatures, and their base walking speed is 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
They have dark vision out to 60 feet. Self-explanatory by now, I know.
Yeah.
Fey ancestry. They have advantages. They have advantage on saving throws they make to avoid or end the charm condition.
Oh, okay.
And these last four abilities are what really made me think, wow, this would be a powerhouse of a rogue.
Okay.
Long-limbed. When you make a melee attack on your turn, your reach for it is 5 feet greater than normal.
Oh, yeah. They have a 10-foot reach. It's crazy.
Yes. Powerful build. You count as one size larger when determining your carrying capacity and the weight you can push, drag, or lift.
So if they were able to use a weapon with reach, that means they have a 15-foot reach.
Yes.
Ooh, that is nuts.
Mhm.
Locking everything down within 15 feet of you.
Yep. So sneaky. They are proficient in the stealth skill. In addition, without squeezing, they can move through and stop in a space large enough for a small creature.
I'm big, but I'm squishy.
They are, though. And surprise attack. If you hit a creature with an attack roll, the creature takes an extra 2d6 damage if it hasn't taken a turn yet in combat.
Yeah, gotta love when you roll low on that initiative as a DM.
Yeah, that can hurt.
Mm-hmm. Okay, its first turn is up, and over half its hit points are already gone.
Yeah,
Oh.
pretty much.
No, but that could be devastating. I mean, 2d6 can make the difference. It really can. Doesn't sound like much. I mean, you're talking 2 to 12. But that's basically a great axe.
Well, what did I do on Friday? I did something like 40 points of damage against something that had 5 left.
Right. Yeah, it's nuts. But even still, how many times? I mean, I saw it with my own eyes. You guys would hit something, it's like, oh, it's got like 4 hit points left. And that 2d6 right there could. It's not that hard to roll, 2 2s or a 1 and a 4 or a 1 and a 3 or 4 points isn't a lot.
No, it's
You
not.
have a really good chance of rolling that with 2d6s.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the amount of times you guys were like just right there, just kind of surprised me. It honestly did. But no, I like it. That again, it's like you said, it's one of those races that's kind of been looked over, I think, and definitely has some advantages there. I mean, stealth skill. Well, advantage on stealth, right?
Yes.
Being able to fit into a small spot. That right there, I mean, there's role play opportunity there. And then doing extra damage to anything that hasn't taken their attack action already. You get a fighter. Holy smokes. Now, is that per action or is that per attack?
Ooh, let me look.
Or are you limited to like so many times per, proficiency modifier? Or...
For what? The surprise attack?
Yeah.
If you hit a creature with an attack roll, the creature takes an extra 2d6 damage if it hasn't taken a turn yet in current combat. You can do it against every creature that hasn't taken a turn before you. Or that hasn't taken a turn.
I'm thinking you're doing a fighter and you have 8 attacks.
Yeah. You obliterate 8 targets.
That's 16d6 of extra damage.
Yep.
That is insane. You can do that against one creature. If you went first, that's sick.
Bugbears are nothing to laugh at.
Oh my word.
And Felix didn't even utilize the bugbear for all of its abilities.
No. Oof. Yeah, definitely gonna have to keep that one in the back of my head.
Yeah, imagine this bugbear as a Path of the Giants barbarian.
Oh, wow.
Imagine the reach you would have as a huge creature.
Well, not even
And
Path of
then
the
one cast
Giants.
and
I'm thinking like Frenzy Berserker Barbarian.
yeah, that's a good one too.
Or again, that high level fighter. But no, yeah, Path of the Giant. I mean, you're already getting up to 15 feet. Plus, that's 20 feet. Holy
And then
smokes.
if someone casts Enlarge Reduce on you and you become size gargantuan, it's something like 60 feet.
There are spells in the book that aren't even have a 60-foot reach.
I
Like,
know.
I'm just gonna reach down here and pick you up real quick. Um, Absolute craziness.
I'd love to see it.
Oh wow. Huh.
I don't even have a gargantuan mini.
No.
I would like a Chardalon the Red Dragon at some point. That's a gargantuan mini.
Mm. Yeah, but those minis get really expensive.
I think the dragon is something like $300.
Yeah, I know they have Tiamat at the one location near us. Um, and I think that's like $400 or $500.
Yeah, it is. Because I checked it out when I was there.
Yeah. Oh man, I'd love to have it, but holy smokes, I can't imagine dropping that much money for a minifigure.
When's your birthday?
No way I could ask you to do that. Um, Alrighty. Anything else on the bugbear?
No, that's it. It's a really simple list of things, but it's just so power packed.
It really is. Wow. I mean, 5 feet extra reach doesn't sound like a lot, but there are ways to really just reach out there and touch someone.
Polar Master and Sentinel.
Oh, good lord, 20-foot reach, and you're just whacking everything that comes by.
Yep.
Ah, absolutely nuts. Well, it kind of makes my next race a little pint-sized. And that
What's
is
that?
the ferry.
Oh my god, such a good race. I mean,
um,
it truly is.
yeah, no, they totally they get spell casting, all kinds of stuff. So the Feywild is home to many fantastic peoples, including the fairies. Fairies are a wee folk, but not nearly as much so as their pixie and sprite friends. The first fairies spoke Elvish, Goblin, and Sylvan, and encounters with humans prompted them to learn Common as well. Infused with the magic of the Feywild, most fairies look like small elves with insectile wings, but each fairy has special physical characteristics that set the fairy apart. For your fairy, roll in the fairy chart table to choose your option. You're also free to come up with your own if you want. So, like, you can get the wings of a bird, shimmering multicolored skin, exceptionally large ears. I can find that funny. Glittering mist constantly surrounds you. Small spherical horn on your forehead, kind of like a little unicorn. Your legs are insect. You smell like fresh brownies. A noticeable harmless chill surrounds you. I like the brownies one. because these are a small creature, like you could have fun with that.
You really could.
And of course they're getting the 2x1, 2x1 or 1x2 and 2x1 or 3x1. You're a fae, so you're not a humanoid. That makes a difference with some spells. Let's see here. We already said your speed is small. You do have a 30-foot walking speed. Fairy magic, so you know the druid craft cantrip, and this is no matter what class you pick. So you're going to get the druid craft cantrip, and I'd say that 3 times fast. Starting at 3rd level, you can cast fairy fire with the trait. You can, at 5th level, also cast enlarge reduce, and then once you do so, you have to take a long rest. You can also choose to cast those at their level if you have appropriate spell slots. So if you're playing a wizard or a sorcerer or something where you have, you know, let's see, 3rd level, so that's probably what, 1st or 2nd level spell. 5th level, I think that's a second or 3rd level spell, enlarge reduce. If you have those spell slots left, you can also cast that. So you're gaining additional spells, which is always a good thing. Especially for your druids, your druids and your sorcerers, that you're limited on the amount of spells that you can know. I guess even, you know what, even with the a warlock fairy. Flight, so you're going to gain your flying speed as well as your walking speed. You just can't be wearing medium or heavy armor. And you're going to speak common plus another appropriate language. So, really nice because you're getting the, you know, you're getting that extra spell casting. And if you're playing a caster, great. I think we talked about playing one of these as a fighter or some type of barbarian where they're carrying around a greatsword. You know, it's dragging on the ground and like, what's that thing for? This. And they cast enlarge reduce on themselves, and now they're a medium-sized creature and ready to fight.
Yeah.
But I like this whole you smell like fresh brownies. You know, you just have this really angry fairy, you stick into a baking pan, you cover it with some type of sheet, and here's some fresh brownies for you. And they're like, oh, that smells delicious. And they, you know, they turn their back, and next thing they know, they got this furious little fairy attacking them.
Yeah.
Ooh. What is it? The barbarian path of the bear, where you get you get natural weapons. Is that what it is?
I think so.
But again, if you're looking for something where you can have a little bit of fun with it, don't count the fairies out. You know, nice thing that 5th edition did is they got rid of the negatives, the stats. One thing they did in 3rd edition, and I guess it makes sense a little bit, is they would give like certain races a negative to intelligence. Like I always like the half orcs. You got that bonus to strength, but then you also took like a -1 or 2 to your intelligence. They don't do that here with 5th edition. So you could have a fairy that's just as strong as that humanoid. But I think there are rules for things that are one size smaller, one size larger. I think there's like advantages or disadvantages. But again, all boils down to how you guys all play. But yeah, I mean, being able to fly, you're itty bitty, and that enlarge reduce, you can actually, you know, cast reduce in yourself and make a pretty good rogue. You know, you can
Yeah, it's a tiny creature.
exactly. You know, you can get into those itty bitty spots. You can spy ahead, disable traps, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, don't count the fairies out. That's a really nice race. I mean, everything kind of right now seems a little underwhelming compared to the bugbear. Um,
Kind of does, doesn't it?
but oh my! All right, so what next? What do we have next on our agenda here?
I'm gonna stick with the theme of goblinoid races.
Okay.
We're gonna go with hobgoblins next.
Ooh. Okay.
And hobgoblins' big ability is working well with others and aiding them.
Do they fly around on a glider and throw pumpkin bombs?
Wouldn't that be cool?
Eh. How to get a
So
Spider-Man reference in there?
hobgoblins, I know. Hobgoblins trace their origins to the ancient courts of the Feywild, where they first appeared with their goblin and bugbear kin. Many of them were driven from the Feywild by the conquering god Maglubiet, who marshaled them as soldiers, but the Fey realm left its mark. Wherever they are in the multiverse, they continue to channel an aspect of the Feywild's rule of reciprocity, which creates a mystical bond between the giver and the receiver of a gift. On some worlds, such bonds lead hobgoblins to form communities with deep ties to one another. In Eberron and the Forgotten Realms, vast hobgoblin legions have emerged, with ranks of devoted soldiers famed for their unity. Hobgoblins are generally taller than their goblin cousins, but not quite as big as bugbears. They have curved, pointed ears and noses that turn bright red or blue during displays of emotion. So, hobgoblins are humanoids, but they're also considered a goblinoid for any prerequisite or effect that requires you to be a goblinoid. They're medium creatures, and their walking speed is 30 feet. They have dark vision out to 60 feet. They have Fey ancestry, so they have advantage on saving throws they make to avoid or end the charm condition on themselves. And here's their Fey gift. You can use this trait to take the help action as a bonus action, and you can do so a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest.
Huh. Well, that's nice.
Now, when you use the help action, the creature you aid gains advantage on the next ability check it makes to perform the task you are helping with. So essentially what I was doing with Felix when they were doing stealth checks.
Mm-hmm.
So some more about this Fey gift. Starting at 3rd level, choose one of the options below each time you take the help action with this trait. Hospitality. You and the creature you help each gain a number of temporary hit points equal to 1d6 plus your proficiency bonus.
Okay.
Passage. You and the creature you help each increase your walking speeds by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. And Spite. Until the start of your next turn, the first time the creature you help hits a target with an attack roll, that target has disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes within the next minute.
Hmm.
And their last ability is called Fortune from the Many. If you miss with an attack roll or fail an ability check or a saving throw, you can draw on your bonds of reciprocity to gain a bonus to the roll equal to the number of allies you can see within 30 feet of you. Maximum bonus of +3. You can use this trait a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest.
Well, there's definitely some good abilities there. I mean, you're gaining temporary hit points, 1d6 plus your proficiency bonus. So that could be anywhere from 8 points to 12.
And you figure you get this at first level, so those 1d6 hit points are a huge help.
Well, yeah, I mean, because most of your classes are only a D8 anyways. I mean, obviously you have some outliers like your sorcerers and your wizards, which are a D6, or your fighters and your barbarians, which are a D10 and D12. But yeah, most of your your druids, your bards, warlocks, um, artificers, they're all D8s. So yeah, a D6, you're gaining additional. You're basically gaining full additional hit die. I mean, obviously, yes, you can roll one, but it's free temporary hit points, and it costs a bonus action to do. Come on.
Exactly.
And then being able to be like, all right, well, okay, you missed, but you know what? There's 3 other people in our party here. Let's go ahead and give you a +3 to that attack roll. Oh, now you hit. Awesome. Yeah, no, that's they really did some great stuff with the goblin race here.
They did. And I like how it's aimed at helping other party members.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're avoiding the charm condition, so being dominated and other things is going to be difficult. No, very, very nice. This is actually the first time I'm even looking at the hobgoblin.
Me too, actually, and I really like how it synergizes with any other class.
Ooh, these guys, they make a really good cleric.
They would.
You know, if you're doing a cleric for buffing and debuffing, this would be a very good race to pick for that. Alrighty, anything else for them?
No, that sums it up.
Okay. Let's see here. Well, we have one here, the Changeling. Now, we've used Changelings as a creature in the past, but I don't think anybody's ever actually played one.
Felix actually played one once.
Oh, did she?
Years ago.
Okay. So, with ever-changing appearances, changelings reside in many societies, undetected. Each changeling can supernaturally adapt any face they like. For some changelings, a new face is only a disguise. For other changelings, a new face may reveal an aspect of their soul. First changelings in the multiverse appeared in the Feywild, and the wondrous, mutable essence of that plane lingers in changelings today. Even in those changelings who have never set foot in the Fey realm, each changeling decides how to use their shape-shifting ability. Changelings either the peril or the joy of the Feywild. Sometimes they adopt new forms for the sake of mischief or malice, and other times they don a new identity to right wrongs and delight the downtrodden. In their true form, changelings appear faded, their features almost devoid of detail. It's rare to see a changeling in that form. For a typical changeling, changing changes their shape the way others might change clothes. A casual shape, one created on the spur of the moment with no depth or history, is called a mask. A mask can be used to express a mood or severe to or sever yeah, can be used to express a mood or to serve a specific purpose and then might never be used again. However, many changelings developed identities that have more depth, crafting whole personas complete with, oh wow, the histories and beliefs. A changeling adventure might have personas for many situations, including negotiation, investigation, and combat. Personas can be shared by multiple changelings. A community might be home to 3 healer changelings, with whoever is on duty adopting a persona of Andre the Gentle Physician. Personas can even be passed down by family, allowing a younger changeling to take advantage of the contacts established by the person's previous user. I like this. And you know I'm a huge fan of the disguise self. So this is like a free disguise self. I love this. All right, so ability score increase. You're getting 1 by 2, 2 by 1, or I'm sorry, 1 by 2, 1 and 1 by 1, or 3 by 1. You're a Fae. You can be small or medium. 30-foot walking speed. Changeling instincts. Your connection to the Fae realm. You gain proficiency with 2 of the following skills of your choice: deception, insight, intimidation, performance, or persuasion. And shape changer. As an action, you can cast your appearance and you can change your cast. You as an action, you can change your appearance and your voice. You determine the specifics of the change, including your coloration, hair length, and sex. You can also adjust your height, weight, and can change your size between medium and small. You can make yourself appear as a number of another race, though none of your game statistics change. You can't duplicate the appearance of an individual you've never seen, and you must adopt a form that has the same basic arrangement of limbs that you currently have. You stay in the new form until you use an action to revert to your true form, or until you die. Your character can speak and read Common and 1 other language. Nah, I love this. This is just... I could have fun with this. I don't know. I might do a changeling now. Forget the Minotaur. I'm going to have too much fun with this. I mean, it's an action to change, but that's okay. When you're talking to somebody and you're having an argument, it'd be really fun to turn into them and just mock them back. Or, uh-oh, we lost Mr. Faust again. Mr. Faust, come back. He must be having issues with his connection again. But yeah, no, this is yeah, can definitely have some fun with the changeling. Let's see here. There we go. Shoot him a new invite for Discord.
There we go.
Here he is. All right. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a changeling instead of a Minotaur. This is just too much fun.
They are fun. That's what they're all about.
Yeah, just turning into somebody as you're in an argument with them and mocking them is just that's too tempting.
I just like that you can blend in with any race you want to at any given time.
Now there's a couple different ones here. So you have Mordecai's, which is the one that I read. Eberron, which pretty much goes right in line with Mordecai's. And then you have the Unearthed Arcana.
How does that one differ?
They have unsettling Vistage. When a creature you can see makes an attack roll against you, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the roll. You use this feature before knowing whether the attack hits or misses, and using this trait reveals your shape-shifting nature to any creature within 30 feet of you. Once you use this trait, you can't do so again until you finish a short or long rest. And then they also have Divergent Persona, which gives you proficiency with one tool of your choice and define a unique identity associated with that proficiency. Establish the name, race, gender, and age, and other details. So while you're in the form of that persona, related to the proficiency bonus is doubled for any ability. So you gain expertise with that.
Last?
Yeah, so you gain a proficiency with one tool. You craft a persona around that tool, and then you have expertise with that tool.
Right.
Ooh. So I can use thieves' tools and have expertise on pickpocketing. And now we're just getting back to another stop that. Who would literally steal the weapons from the bad guy that you're fighting. And because he had basically couldn't roll less than a 25 in his sleight of hand, yeah, would steal everything out of the guy's pockets before you had a chance to even draw your weapon. Yeah. I mean, changelings are just fun, man. This is great. If you get a picture of somebody and now you can become them. You just need a sample of their voice and you can mimic their voice. Because you're changing everything. Your looks, this way you sound, everything.
Right.
Now, if somebody casts Fairy Fire on you, you revert back to your normal form.
Yeah, that's correct.
But how often do you really run into somebody who's casting Fairy Fire?
Yeah, it's remarkably rare.
But yeah, that's it for the changelings. All right, I think that one stands up to the bugbear.
I definitely agree with that.
At least for the type of gameplay that I like.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
All right, what do you got next on your list?
I'm going to go with the goblin.
Okay.
So, goblins. A subterranean folk, goblins can be found in every corner of the multiverse, often beside their bugbear and hobgoblin kin. Long before the god Maglubiet conquered them, early goblins served in the courts of the Queen of Air and Darkness, one of the Feywild's archfey. Goblins thrived in her dangerous domain thanks to a special boon from her, a supernatural knack for finding a weak spot in foes larger than themselves and for getting out of trouble. Goblins brought this Fey boon with them to worlds across the material plane, even if they don't remember the Fey realm they inhabited before Maglubliet's rise. Now many goblins pursue their own destinies, especially escaping the plots of both archfey and gods. Yeah, I used to think goblins were absolutely ridiculous, and then I read this and realized that they were incredibly badass.
Mm-hmm.
So, goblin traits. Creature type. They're humanoids, but they're also considered goblinoids for any prerequisite or effect that requires you to be a goblinoid. They're small creatures and their walking speed is 30 feet. They have dark vision out to 60 feet. And they have advantage on saving throws to avoid or end the charm condition.
Okay.
They have an ability called Nimble Escape. They can take the the disengage or hide action as a bonus action on each of their turns.
That's very nice. That is very nice.
It's an ability I don't think rogues even get at first level.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think that's like a 3rd level thing.
That's what I thought too.
Well, hold on, we can look this up. Rogue 5e, there we go. Oh, it's second level. But even still, to get it right off the bat.
They do. They also have an ability called Fury of the Small. Yes. When you damage a creature with an attack or a spell, and the creature's size is larger than yours, you can cause the attack or spell to deal extra damage to the creature. The extra damage equals your proficiency bonus. You can use this trait a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, regaining all expended uses when you finish a long rest. And you can use it no more than once per turn. It's not horrible, but it's not the bugbear and it's not the changeling.
I mean, it's a free thing. I mean, at first you're doing, only 2 points. You're doing 6 later. It's guaranteed damage. And you're getting that. Oh, it's a long rest. I can see it's a little underwhelming, but I don't know. I mean, it's still you're dealing, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 points of damage for free.
Right.
2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 times. Now, once per turn, I guess that means like you're not playing a goblin fighter and doing this 8 times in a round, but
no, just once.
I don't know. I would almost consider letting them do it a second time with action surge. Just because it's not. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, they still get nimble escape,
which is huge.
And with the Fey Ancestor, you have advantage on Charmed, so that's not a bad thing. And still, I mean, a small creature with a 30-foot walking speed. A lot of good things you can do being small.
Yeah.
I mean, a small creature, you're, 3 to 4 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Anything else with the goblin?
I think that sums it up.
Okay. Let's see here. We talked about that. We talked about that. the Goliath is one that we've had people play a couple of times in your campaigns.
I was just looking at the picture of the Goliath in the book.
Mm-hmm. So the first Goliaths lived in the highest mountain peaks, far above the tree lines, where the air is thin and frigid winds howl, distantly related to the giants and infused with supernatural essence of the ancestors' mountainous homes. Goliaths stand between 7 and 8 feet tall and have a wide array of skin tones resembling different types of stone. So you're getting that 1x2, and then 1x1 or 3x1. You're humanoid, you're medium, your walking speed is 30 feet. Little giant, you have proficiency in athletics. And nice thing is you do count as one size larger when determining your carrying capacity and the weight that you can push, drag, or lift. So mountain born, you have resistance to cold damage. You also naturally accumulate to high altitudes, even if you've never been the one. This includes elevations above 20,000 feet, or you have stone endurance. You can supernaturally draw an unyielding stone to shrug off harm. When you take damage, you can use your reaction to roll a d12, add your constitution modifier to the number, and reduce the damage by that total. You can use this trait a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So that's not bad there. I like that. The stone endurance, I think I'd take that over the little giant or mountain born.
I agree.
But that's pretty much it from them. I mean, they get common and one additional language. So not bad at all. A little giant, you can be the group's little,
Knapsack.
Exactly.
I mean,
Or if you really want to throw the gnome, play Goliath. Oh, the first time I introduced my children to D&D, they come up with throw the gnome. Absolutely crazy. And that was Medrash too. That's I think the funniest part of that whole thing. I don't remember what the name of the gnome was that Arrow was playing. She could probably tell me. But yeah, we found those gems to unlock that door, and Medrash wanted those gems because if it was shiny, it belonged to Medrash. And like, no, I'm not giving these to you because if I give them to you, you're never going to give them back. And okay, I'm going to throw the gnome at you. So we had to determine how much damage does a gnome do. And then they locked themselves. And then they locked themselves in a closet for a week, coming up with different ways to throw the gnome. Who knew that a 7-year-old at the time could come up with cast Sacred Flame, I think it is, or Persistent Flame, or whatever they have for that cantrip, and turn themselves into a little flaming gnome. Absolutely crazy. But anyways, looking at the time, it is 8:27. I know you need to get going here very shortly.
I do.
So if we have time for one more, you're more than welcome to, or unless you just want to call it here.
I'll go over one quick one.
All right, go for it.
I'm gonna go with the satyr.
Ooh, I was kind of surprised you didn't do that earlier.
This is a race I just played recently. I absolutely loved role-playing this character.
You did a very nice job.
Yeah, I had a blast with it. He was all about revelry. He loved to play music, drink, smoke. He was just a blast. So, originating in the Feywild, a realm of pure emotion, satyrs thrive on the energy of merriment. They resemble elves, but have goat-like legs, cloven hooves, and ram or goat horns. The magic of the Fey realm has given them an innate ability to perform, to delight, and to resist magical intrusion. While they're usually found in the Feywild, satyrs do wander to other planes of existence, most often to the material plane. There they seek to bring a bit of their home plane's splendor to other worlds. As a satyr, you have the following racial traits. So they are a Fey, they're not a humanoid. Their size is medium. Their walking speed is 35 feet. They have a ram attack, so they can use their head and horns to make unarmed strikes. When they hit with them, the strike deals 1d6 plus their strength modifier bludgeoning damage. They have an ability called Mirthful Leaps. Whenever they make a long jump or a high jump, you can roll a d8 and add the number rolled to the number of feet you cover, even when making a standing jump. This extra distance costs movement as normal. Reveler. As an embodiment of revelry, you have proficiency in the performance and persuasion skills, and you have proficiency with one musical instrument of your choice. And the big one, I didn't think any creature outside of demons, devils, and celestials had this, but it's called magic resistance. You have advantage on saving throws against spells.
Now, is it all spells?
That's all spells.
Oh, okay. Yeah, not bad.
No, not at all.
So, alrighty. Well, it is 8:30.
Yeah, I should probably bow out.
Alrighty. Well, thank you, Mr. Faust, for joining us this evening. I look forward to next week. We got to come up with what we're going to be talking about, and I'm definitely sure we'll be in touch with each other, talk about that. But anyways, I will see you Friday, my friend. Or I guess actually Saturday. We're doing D&D this week. Alrighty. Well, hey everybody. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the stream, if you enjoyed what we talked about, if there's any certain race that you like, let me know down below in the comments. Alrighty. If you have any ideas that you want us to talk about for D&D 5e, please put them down in the comments. I read everything. I respond to your comments. You guys know that. Alright. Well, hey, thanks so much for watching. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a like. If you haven't hit that subscribe button by now, please go ahead and do that subscribe button. I'm so close to the 300 subscribers. And I really need your help to grow the channel. And the best way to do that is to tell your neighbors, tell your friends, and shout it from the rooftops. Like, comment, and subscribe to Blast338. Have a great time, and we'll see you at the next live stream. Peace.